Hey everyone, this is Shar. I am here to share my happy mail and to show you the hybrid planner just in case you are curious about it and you still haven't chosen your planner for the rest of the year. This is the A5 wide hybrid planner with the leopard swirl cover. I chose to get a quote on it. You could get your name, you could get, I'm sure within reason, anything you wanted in this little section here. Just keep in mind that the longer your phrase, the smaller your words will be. I chose choose better every day, Shar. Isn't this font beautiful? It's really unique. So, again, I got the leopard swirls cover. With the hybrid planner, you get a few binding options. Well, with all of the planners, you get a few binding options. As you can see, I chose to get a black coil, but you also have the choice of a silver coil. You also can select silver or black discs. You can also select it to be just punched for rings or punched for discs. Those latter two only come with the inserts. You would have to purchase a cover or the disc separately if that is what you chose to get. For my ring bound planners, Destiny will tell you I have so many of those covers in different sizes because they are sturdy, they are gorgeous, and they make fantastic page lifters at the front and the back of your ring bound planners. Just a pro tip. So let's look inside. Again, the beautiful cover is here. One of the things you get are these monthly covers for your tabs. You get a vellum sheet. You get your, what do they call this? Your nameplate page, I think is what it's formerly called. So we're about to get into the meat of the planner. This paper, if you haven't experienced Destiny's paper, I don't know what you're waiting for. It is phenomenal. So at the front of your planner, you get a lot of what I like to call your planning pages, like preparation for your planner. So you get 12 boxes here. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to use it as a future log, and it'll be my like medical appointments, work related appointments, like high level things. And it'll be for June, July, August, and September. That way you can have like places you need to be, deadlines you have coming up, and maybe like budget things. I think the last column, if you have quarterly bills that happen, things like that, payments and things that come up that you may forget about because it's every 6 months or every whatever, you could put those here so that you can have a high level view of that at the top of your planner, so that when you get into the planning pages, you could pull that information right in. But there are 12 of them, so you can use them however you like. You could future plan for the upcoming year, so you could have your first four for whatever months you're using the planner for, and then the other ones could be for future months down the road, just in case you have weddings, birthdays, vacations, all of that sort of stuff coming up, deadlines for work, for big projects, that sort of thing. Then you have a set of 3, 6, 9, 12 pages. Well, 12 boxes, so it's 4 pages, yes. And again, you could use these for maybe you have a goal planning system that you use, and you have big goal items or big projects you want to complete that are personal things, as opposed to things that are from the outside in, like work, doctor's appointments, things like that. Maybe you have personal development projects you want to work on, and you could break down maybe your top 3 goal categories, so that this page could be for 1 month, this could be for another, and these could be for another month. That way you have plenty of space to write down every goal or brain dump you need for, a landing place to put things, so that when it's time for you to do your actual weekly and daily planning, you are not scrambling and struggling trying to figure out where things are. Also, I don't know about you, but I am a grid girl. Graph paper, grid paper, depending on what decade you're from, you might call it something different. But I love the new edition of these grid blocks because it helps with writing. I just love the aesthetic of it. It's a winner. Again, you could break it down 1 month at a time, one life category at a time. There are any number of options of the way you can use these. Again, I'm going to use each page for a different month, and then I'm going to focus on 3 goal areas for that month, and I will put those projects, tasks, and obligations down in those sections. So then you have these pages, which could be bucket list pages, they could be brainstorming pages, they could be project planning pages. So if you are planning a birthday party or a baby shower or a cookout, or it could be vacation planning, and you could put down all the things you need to do, a packing list, go-to recipes. Like, it's an open canvas, a blank canvas for you to use, again, with the grid, so that you can maximize the amount of information you can put in those sections. And you get 4 of those sheets, I believe. You get 5. So, 6, 7. You get plenty. Let's just call it that. So then we get into the actual planning. These boxes, you could use them for any number of things. So you could have deadlines for the month. Each box could be a different project that you are further breaking down from information you may have dumped inside those beginning preparation pages. I like to use the Eisenhower matrix. There are several ways you could use these pages. You could put a project in each of them and break down the task bit by bit, so that you know where to plug it. You can have a place to plug it in when you're doing your planning. You could use it as a catch-all for different areas of your life. I like to use the Eisenhower matrix, which basically you would break down all the things you need to do for the month, and you would put urgent, not urgent. You would put important and less important. So things that are urgent and important would go here. So maybe you got to take your dog to get vaccinated, or you need to get your spare tire changed out for a real tire. Those things are urgent and important to most people, depending on, what is your priority. Something over here may be, things that are not urgent, but still important. Maybe there's a deadline at work, those sorts of things, appointments you need to make, that sort of thing. Usually, like, urgent and important are like fires you need to put out. Things that if they don't get taken care of, there's going to be a problem. It's going to cause a bigger problem. So, and so on and so forth. So you would have things that are urgent and less important, not urgent and less important. So you want in that, using the Eisenhower matrix, you would want most of your tasks to fall over here and maybe over here, these two columns. You don't want too many urgent things, but if you're going to have something that's urgent, you want it to be less important so that it's not something like, the house is on fire kind of thing. You could do things that you could put tasks, things you need to do now, things you need to schedule time for, things you need to delegate, or things you need to get rid of. Either get rid of off your plate or get rid of out your life, that sort of thing. So that's just a couple of ways you could use these pages or these blocks. Well, we all know what this is. This is a monthly calendar, which is undated. The whole planner is undated. And so you could get date covers from the penny pages. You could get numbers from the penny pages and map out. For me, my monthly calendar is where I put anywhere that I have to be physically, and money coming in, money going out. That's all I put on my monthly calendar, so that there is not any clutter in the way of things that might get forgotten or the ball dropped on. So that's how I use my calendar. But you could, I still decorate it, but those are the things that are written in on my calendar. You get another opportunity to brainstorm, brain dump, doodle, whatever your heart desires. Now, this page threw me for a loop because I am not 100% sure how I want to use this page. This is the page that comes right before your weekly spread. And so it could be transferring only the information from your future log that applies to this week for different life areas. I think that is a way that I would use this. Transferring the tasks from your monthly brainstorm list that you want to get done this week. And this could be a journaling moment. It could be where you leave it blank until maybe you get a phone call and you need to jot something down and you want to be able to keep it and be able to find it. That would be a good use of this space. Different life categories, different projects that you're going to work on this week, and then the nitty-gritty tasks that it's going to take to get that portion of that project done. I think that would be a good idea for this page. So there's that. When you get to ordering your hybrid planner, you have the opportunity to choose what type of weekly layout you would like. So you have a choice between a vertical weekly, which is that traditional 3 stacked boxes. You also have a horizontal, which is the wide rectangular boxes for each day on a 2-page layout. You also get the Pinterest layout, which is one of my personal faves. So in the other layout you get is the Panichi, which is that stacked week with notes, almost like Hobonichi style. So this is the Pinterest weekly. So for me, this is where, if I'm breaking down projects here, wherever I would have, each one of these would be a life area or something that I personally need to work on every week. So I like to do something in my home every day. I have a sticker I made that's called 15-minute tidy. And so that might be the tidy task, whatever I'm going to declutter or straighten up or whatever home related task. I have one for work, what task I need to do that on what day. Maybe you have your children's names, and you want to put one for each child. And this would be great for homeschooling or enrichment activities that you want each child to experience each day or throughout the week. This is fantastic to break down where do you want to spend your days. This doesn't necessarily tell you what time you want to do it, but you can break down any project into tasks and spread them out so that you can get them done, which is the whole point of having a planner. Manage your time and being able to check it off and move to the next thing. So I'm going to put my life categories here. So it would be home, work, social media. It would also be my meals, because adulting is hard for me. And this one would be for crafting. For me, one of my therapeutic activities, one thing that keeps me at peace is to make something, whether it's designing on my computer or making something with my hands. So that's what that's going to be for me, at least as of now. When I tell you this daily layout is my favorite. I love this. I have used it in a B6, in an A5 wide, in the A5 rings, discs. This is a layout that is always going to be in my planner lineup. Same thing each day. If you have certain activities, certain life categories, I usually will put a full box sticker, which would usually come down to about here, something like that. I would put a wacky holiday sticker underneath it, and then my top 3 things I want to get done, I'm going to put right in here. Usually down here, I always put finance related things, whether I spent money, I got Happy Meal, I got processed a refund, whatever, that's usually what's down here, because that's one of my daily priorities, is to know where my money is, because I don't have an infinite amount. So I only put actual timed events in this space, to-dos, and usually down here is where I will put notes from emails, phone calls, that sort of thing for the day. And then at the end of the day, if that information needs to go somewhere else, that's where I will transfer it so that it's all in one place. So then for your daily options, you have, this is called the Be Productive Daily. There's also a daily option that's called Daily with Journaling. And basically what it is it's one long column here, as opposed to 2 separate sections, depending on what your preference is. If you really, want to journal, or you only want it for notes and you don't care about the check boxes, then the Daily with Journaling would probably be for you, which is identical to this. It's just this column is one continuous column. And then it repeats, y'all. You get back here, you get back to your weeks. Everything is in chronological order and it's undated. So Penny Pages sells these gorgeous date strips that you can use to go ahead and, without having to write anything, it's just a strip and it'll say, what's today? Today is Monday, May 23rd, 2023. That's exactly what the strip would say. It's beautiful. They're pretty, and they're in the Penny Pages font. If you didn't know, this is a custom font that Destiny has. I wouldn't be surprised if she or Hazel drew it themselves. And then it repeats for 4 months. It's a healthy planner. It's a big one. The coil is about, I think, 30 to 35 millimeters, if I'm not mistaken. I believe that's what it is. You have all that you need to get yourself organized and keep yourself organized. It is possible to only have this one planner, but if you're anything like me, you have more than one planner. I have two. I use this, and then I also have the vertical weekly, which I'll show at another time, but I use that to more like a memory planner to recap my week. After I go through here, I make it pretty, well, prettier over there. So all the hybrids come undated. Each month has 1 monthly, 5 weekly pages, and 35 daily pages. Now, if you know your calendar, you know there are not 35 pages. However, sometimes we make mistakes, right? And as long as you don't make too many mistakes, you could possibly tear out a page. Yep, I said it. You could tear out a page, one of the daily pages, if for some reason it turned into a disaster. So then, before I go on to that, one of the other options you have in the daily, instead of this daily, is an actual health and food log. So there you could track your water, track your movement, track what you eat, all of those things. So you don't have to have this calendar. You could have your health and food tracker inside your planner with your weekly planner. And I think that would be outstanding. So you then have, there we go. You then have a whole section of nothing but lined note paper. Each one of these sheets could be for a different thing, or they could be for one continuous thing. Like, for instance, when I said that I would transfer information over from my little note section on my dailies to something like this, I could start by just writing the date and then transferring whatever bit of information, and then continue. Write the next date, write whatever information is important, and that way it would be in chronological order, and I could find it right in my same planner without having to necessarily have another book. And then, of course, these I love. When I say I love. When Destiny first showed a peek of her weekly planner, no, was it her Be Productive Daily? No, it was her weekly planner that had this grid in it. I needed it immediately, and that is what I use. So there you have it. Oh, I put this on backwards. When my planner came, this cover was not snapped in, and I haphazardly snapped it in, but as you can see, the logo is up there, so I'll change that at some other time. But this is the hybrid planner. Remember, you can get yours customized with what you want it to say within reason. It's 7 by 8.75. So like I said, it's comparable to a 7 by 9 planner. You can make most kits work if you already have kits, but Destiny has a ton of adorable kits that you could purchase to use in her planners, and they will fit like a dream. The tabs are laminated. The tab part is laminated of the dividers. They're 4 months, and they're all undated. It's on 90-pound index weight paper. When I tell you this is the good stuff, this is the good stuff. This is an aluminum coil or metal discs. These are lovingly made in Canada, and there are 34 holes or punches in this planner if you were considering swapping out your coil for something else. And the covers are interchangeable, so you can buy other covers to to put on here if you wanted to. So if you have any questions, just drop them down below this video, and I will see you in the next video I make.